And we all sign on, like the moon and the stars and the sun. Yeah, we all sign on, everyone. Come on. Yesterday yesterday evening, I was listening to the radio and I heard the same or a similar report about insects. We are losing our insects. It's very, well, it's very important. It should be headline news. Never mind all that Brexit bullshit. What a load of cobblers that is. And Donald Trump, the actor Donald Trump, it's just entertainment for the masses. The real stuff is the fact that 75% of our insect mass has gone. It's been reduced by that figure. And this is over a period of 27 years, I believe. That's what they said anyway. Whether I believe it or not, I don't believe anything. Like I said, I just know things, I don't know things. Now, they've told me this on the radio, whether it's factual or not. Make up your own minds. But it was a German study and done. They had traps and nets and whatever for insects in conservation areas. So where you'd think they'd be plentiful. If there were insects around, they would be there. There would be most of them there. Yet they were finding that, like I say, 75% reduction since, 27 years previous. Right. So that is alarming. It's very worrying, and it bloody well should be. So what's happening? Why are we losing them all? Well, we knew about bees because bees are kept in hives by people, and so people can report on these things. They know very well that their numbers of bees are down, or the whole hives have been, they call it colony death or colony something. When the whole hive just croaks it. And yes, varroa mite, yes, pesticides, insecticides, herbicides, really bad. But what about this for consideration? Our communications now, forget about satellites, come on, you're just being ignorant if you think satellites are a thing. They're not. Human-made satellites are nonsense. They do not exist. Where I live, I know very well, satellite navigation is a myth. And when I say myth, I shouldn't really use the word myth because there are many myths that have some truth in them, but Arthur C. Clarke's invention of the satellite has no truth in it whatsoever. And when you live in a hilly area, as is this, your satellite navigation don't work. And your mobile phone signal, similar thing. It's varied. Let me tell you, it's very varied, whether you can get reception or not. And, the towers, the communications towers that all our mobile phones work off, and Wi-Fi and tablets, for your tablets and your laptops, etc. It's all communications towers, and they are now extremely numerous. In fact, more so around here because they have to have like a relay system of towers. So people can still use their devices, because, like I say, it's very hilly, it's up and down, and even if you're down in the valley and there's a mast above you, it doesn't always work. It doesn't always have the ability to receive or send a signal. So there are what they call dead spots, or something like that. Anyway, now then, these towers emit an energy which is a microwave. I believe it's a microwave energy. I say believe again, but it is a microwave energy. Cellular phones, as the Americans call them, use microwave energies and microwave waves. Use microwaves to communicate. So, are the insects being bothered by this? Do they find it difficult to navigate? Is it like, say, for instance, we had massive tinnitus? Is it like that for them? So you can't concentrate, you can't get on with your life, and you just rather die. Actually, if you had really severe tinnitus, it's a terrible thing. Is it very much like that? Now, I have also heard that in the oceans, the big mammals of the oceans, like whales and dolphins, well, that's about all there is, mammal-wise. They also are very disorientated by the sounds of well, ships, big ships, motors, radar, you name it, whatever they're putting into the ocean as either communications or just simply propulsion systems like engines, propellers whirring around. That, so I understand, is the reason, or very much a reason, why we see schools of whales and dolphins beached on shallow sandbanks where they couldn't navigate, where they would normally avoid places like that, obviously. And so it upsets their navigation system. I think dolphins use kind of a sonar, and I'm almost certain that what the whales call sperm whales that hunt very deep, I think they do the same. So who knows? And maybe all do. But I don't think you need sonar for krill and plankton that the very big whales eat. Tiny, the smallest. It's strange, isn't it, how the largest mammal or creature that's ever been on our plane, that's ever lived, is still with us, just about. But it's one of the smallest things that human eye can see, which is plankton. Anyway, are the insects suffering from a similar thing? Just the human beings just inconsiderately pushing out all these waves that they have no idea. I mean, they're obviously harmful to us. They cause tumours. I also heard on the radio they wondered why brain tumours have gone up something like, I think it was doubled in the last 5 or 10 years. Anyway, it was some remarkable figure, and they didn't know. They had no idea why. Well, I have a damn good idea why. Mobile phones, put them into your head. Microwave energy is all around. It doesn't stop at the phone. It's all around the phone, in and out. Receiving and what's the other one? Transmitting. here. I've heard people blaming pesticides, insecticides, herbicides, and yes, that can't be good. I've heard that the monoculture that we see now in fields, even fields of grass, where you would normally have a field of grass there's so many varieties of grass anyway, and if you sow a nice mix of grass seed, then the forage that grows for the animals is far more nutritious, instead of just going for the grass that delivers the most protein and then the bigger yield of milk or beef, or it's a very short-sighted view. Or let's have a big fat check for a couple of years and then desolate wasteland for the rest of our lives. Well, I'm exaggerating, of course, but that is more or less what will happen. Around here, the land is so uneven. You don't get fields of rape, or very few fields of corn, actually. Just where I live, go a few miles in any direction and you will get that. Of course, I'm quite close to the Vale of Pickering, which it starts there, Vale of York, then down, if you go down over, it's Lincolnshire, which is huge, massive grain growing areas where the monoculture is king. Insects, no wonder they're struggling. They need a varied diet as well as we do, as well as the bees do, and they're just not getting it anymore. So I don't think it. Well, I know for a fact anyway that pesticides and herbicides have been reduced significantly over the last certainly 20 years. You could more or less spray anything you wanted at one time, but now there are so many restrictions. And good. I mean, so that Roundup, it should be banned. It's banned in other countries. Why not in this country? I don't know. You can buy it in the supermarket. Children can reach it, reach it off the shelves, and I'm not saying they can drink it, but I mean, I've used lots of it in my time before I knew any better. Without any protection, used to spray it in just a pair of shorts, just walk around with a knapsack on my back in the summertime, and a pair of boots and a pair of shorts, and that was it. And it used to run down my back, spill from the lid at the top because it was that full. I used to fill it as full as I could so I didn't have to make so many journeys, and I would slop it around and it would run down the back of my neck and down my back and into my bum crevice, of course. But it didn't kill anything. Well, it didn't kill anything on me. It might have killed some parasites, maybe. But anyway, it's wickedly evil stuff. It should be banned. But many of the different types have been banned. But mobile phones are just increasing. They aren't getting any fewer, any less, and more people are becoming. They're using them, and that isn't doing anything or anyone any good. So I would think it's probably that. So look into it if you like. If you don't like, doesn't matter. But we are all going to die. Well, that's obvious, but we could maybe have lived a bit longer if we looked after our beautiful plane. But no, let's just spray it with shit and talk to everybody about bullshit.